light up the world. We light up the world.
Welcome to Fire to Inspire the podcast. I'm your host, Angel Yasmin, and today's quote is, "Have a healthy, happy vagina." Today we have a very special guest by the name of Beatrice Feliu-Espada. So Beatrice is killing the game of feminine healthcare. She is the owner of the Honey Pot Company. The Honey Pot Company, if you don't know already, is the first plant-based, chemical-free feminine care system that cleanses, protects, and balances your vagina. So her company is powered by women, made by women, and used by millions of women across the nation. You'll find her products in Whole Foods, Target, also online, everywhere. So she is the first Black woman to come out with such a phenomenal product, and we are so fired up to have her on the show and share her amazing story. So let's welcome Beatrice to the show. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. First off, I'd like to give a shout out to the girls from Millennial Women Talk, because they put on this awesome event in Atlanta, and this is how I met Beatrice as a guest speaker. I was absolutely blown away, guys, about her story. So please find my girls on Instagram. They are at We Are Millennial Women. So you have to go and follow their awesome podcast because they are doing some amazing things. So how in the heck did you come up with this product? How did you get started with the whole concept?
I had an almost year-long bacterial infection and bacterial vaginosis infection that I couldn't get rid of. One night, I went to sleep and I had a dream with one of my ancestors, and she gave me a list of ingredients and told me that it would get rid of my problem. And so I woke up. She told me I would remember when I woke up. I remembered, I wrote it down, and I made it, and it worked. That is our normal external feminine washes, which are basically vulva washes. That's what we got started with. Now we've gone into so many other things, but that's how we got started. It was literally the mother of invention is a necessity.
Where did you guys get started at? What city? What state were you all?
Well, we're based in Atlanta.
Okay, yeah.
We got started back in 2012. We didn't launch it to the general public until 2014, but we did a lot of study and practice on hundreds of women before we actually launched our product in 2014, but we are an Atlanta-based company.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I love your product. And
Thank
somebody,
you.
I don't know, I was at some event and I had a sample of a couple of the pads, and man, did it change my life. The cooling sensation, y'all, the cooling sensation that I felt on my vagina. I'm sorry if you don't like the word vagina. We're going to use this a lot today. So we want you to get comfortable.
Let's say vagina a lot.
Yes, let's do it. Like, say whatever. I want this to be a platform where people are comfortable with their bodies. And that's why we're going into the Power of Health series so hard, because people need to be aware of their bodies. And one of the hardest things for women is to discuss their feminine health care or situation down there. But women should be more aware of what they're using on their bodies. Like, they need to be aware of the tampons, the pads, condoms. It doesn't matter. It all goes down to
everything.
Tissue. So tell us why this is so important for women to understand.
Everything. Well, using non-toxic, because, in the beginning you said that our products are chemical free, that if we're being factual, that's not all the way correct. And
okay.
I'm not trying to be rude by correcting you. I just want people to understand what the difference is. So our products are made with chemicals, but they're made with non-toxic chemicals. Everything is a chemical, right? An essential oil is a chemical. Everything is a chemical. They're just, non-toxic. They're plant-derived, and they're clean, so they're going to be a lot less harmful. They're going to be way less harmful than when people are using toxic chemicals that aren't plant-derived and don't come from a nutraceutical source. I preach to anybody to use natural skincare, period, right? Not just for your vaginal health, but from your head to your toe. Right. And the reason for that is because anything that you put on your skin is going inside your body. So if I was to put a little bit of lavender on my hand right now, if I tested my blood in an hour, lavender would show up in my bloodstream. The thing that people don't realize about their skin is that it's an organ, right? Mm-hmm. And it's much different. Things get into your body quicker on your skin than they actually do when you put them in your mouth, right? Yeah. And the difference with putting them in your mouth is they actually go through the process. They go through your liver. They go through your kidneys. They actually go through a filtration process. But when you put something on your skin, it just goes right in. And so it's really important for people to understand why they need to use natural skincare or non-toxic skincare or even plant-derived skincare, which all of those things mean the same thing, is because those things are going to be less harmful to your body, to your blood, to your mind, to everything, right? So it's really important for people to understand that. One of the biggest reasons why it's so important for women to use natural feminine care products is because the vagina is a mucous membrane and absorbs even quicker than your mouth, right? It absorbs very, 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 very well. So anything that you put on there, it would be the same as if you put something in your mouth and swallowed it, right? It's a delivery system. That's why babies come out. That's why we bleed from there. That's why, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's a delivery system. So you have to, things come out, which means things can go in. So we have to be really conscientious of that. At the event the other day, a girl said that she used our pads and she used to have periods that were like 7 to 10 days. She said when she started using our pads, they went down to 3 to 4. That's really your more ideal period time. I know somebody who bleeds for 1 day.
I love it.
Queen of Fluid says you really shouldn't bleed at all, right? But that has to do with how you're eating, how you're drinking, all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
So,
and we've been going heavy on the diet, like the diet portion, what you're supposed to be putting in your bodies and being more conscious, health conscious eaters. So thank you for saying that, because everything is tied together, right? Everything.
We are what we eat, and you are whatever you ate. So if you eat meat, you want to make sure that that cow or that chicken or whatever ate the right food, because whatever they ate, you're going to eat them plus whatever they ate, right?
Yeah.
So eating a plant-based diet, is not for everybody, but we should make sure that, especially if we're not eating a plant-based diet, which I'm mostly plant-based, but I still, every now and again,
you do your thing.
Every now and again, I might want to eat something, right? And so my mom might make some chicken or something. I'm not going to tell my mom, no, I'm not going to eat that.
I know, that's the hardest thing.
Seriously, like you go to somebody's house and they make you a meal, you're not going to be like, you can, but personally, it's not going to kill me if I eat that one time. But most of the time, I live with a plant-based diet.
I love this conversation because I really want people to, again, be aware of what they're putting down there, because it all matters. It all matters. And
everything matters.
I know, it matters. And I love how you got started. Like, can you tell people about your dream before you got started with the company?
Yeah, I mean, it was surreal. But I had just initiated into my religion, so it's not really strange. It may sound strange if you don't understand what the practice is of Yoruba or Santeria Lukumi. So, and most people don't know what that is. Mm-hmm. So to them, it may, to the average person, it does sound pretty strange that you would have a dream and that you would like follow it and an ancestor would be talking to you. But honestly, I had just been initiated a few months before, and my religion is really based around your ancestors. It's based around spirits, which are, again, if they're gone, they're not physically here. Their energy is still here, and so we really work a lot with energy, right? Mm-hmm. And in energy in the way that we never really die, right? Because energy can't die, and the reason why me and you are sitting here talking is because we have energy in us, right? That's how our blood is pumping. That's how all these things happen. And so yeah, I mean, I had just done all that spiritual work, and when I got back, when you make Orisha, you got to cut off all your hair, and you got to wear white for a year, and it's like a whole thing, and the process is like a week. Well, it's crazy, beautiful but crazy. It's a lot. So to do that, and then to come home, and then to kind of be realizing the things that I want to work on, it made sense that all these things kind of happened as they did. So yeah, I mean, I had the dream. I woke up, I wrote it down, and I just did it. I just listened to the dream, and it worked out.
What are some adversities you had to face in the market while getting started in the business, and how were you, able to overcome them?
Well, every day you're met with an adversity, right? In the beginning, the adversity was being able to make enough money. Right. That's still an adversity because my goal used to be, I just want to make $200 a day. Right. Mm-hmm. Now my goal, it's everything is relative. If we only make $200 a day, we may as well just shut our doors. Mm-hmm. So it's leaps and bounds more than what that is now. But, adversities are that. We've had adversities with trying to find the right amount of capital, with trying to get the right valuations, with understanding supply chain and logistics, and all the things that you have to do once you get into retail. Listen, when you're in business, when you're doing anything that really matters and you're trying to be the change in the world that you want to live in, and you're doing all that types of shit, you're always going to be met with adversities, right? You just have to know, like, okay, cool, and just see it for what it's like in meditation. When you meditate, you're going to have a thought, right? Like, to try to not think when you're meditating is almost impossible to do, right? But in meditation, they teach you to see the thought and let the thought be what it is and just go there. Like, let it pass by. Don't try to judge the thought or yourself that you're thinking. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so it's the same thing when you're running a company. You have employees. You're not in control of everything, right? Like, there's not a lot of things that we're in control of at this point in business, right? I'm beholden to my manufacturers, to my distribution centers, to my fulfillment centers, to FedEx. Me and Antoinette and Simon and Linda really just used to do everything, right? And so now that's not possible. They're just always going to come, and you just have to be able to roll with it.
When I first met you, I said, man, this girl exudes confidence, and you're so earthy. And, I mean, you kind of explained what I was about to ask about your spirituality, because I was very curious about what you did on a daily basis to, bring up your self-confidence.
I just live my life intentionally, and I want to enjoy it, and I want to be surrounded by good people, and I want to run the business, and I want to eat well, and I want to live well, and I want to travel. I don't care about being seen. I don't care if anybody knows who I am. I don't give a shit about any of that.
Right.
So if to you that may sound like confidence, to me that just sounds like me being.
Yeah.
I just want to be here, and I just want to be in this moment, and I understand that it's a gift to just breathe.
Oh, right? I know.
And so, so I don't get caught up in all the things. None of that shit means anything to me. So, yes, that might have something to do with my spiritual practice, but I don't. Everything that I do is one thing. Mm-hmm. Nothing is separate, right? Like, so I work constantly to just be here, and now my goal is just to like shut my mind down. My best friend said something yesterday. We were watching a movie, and it was something about how people overthink. Something came up, and she's a yogi, so she thinks, and we think in a similar way. And she said, they were talking about how in the show how people overthink.
Okay, yeah,
right. And she was saying, we can't overthink, because we have to learn how to get out of our heads and into our body. What she said though is that the mind is a bad neighborhood. You shouldn't spend too much time in that neighborhood, right? Because your mind, 90% of the shit that your brain tells you is not true. It's processing what it sees, what it hears, all the unintentional shit that you can't get rid of. Right. It's processing all that shit at the same time. And a lot of times we think we're depressed. We think we're sad. We think we're crazy because people say we are. We put too much thought into what people say. We care about people's opinions. And I'm not saying all this shit to say that I'm not this way. Baby. But I work really hard not to be, right? If you call somebody and they don't answer the phone, you get upset. Why do you get upset? It's their time. You're not in control of their time. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, like, that shit was crazy. The mind is a bad neighborhood. Like, that's how I live my life. I don't, all the things don't matter because they're just things, sister.
Right.
My business is what I do, but it's not who I am.
I just knew something was earthy about you because I'm Capricorn. Yeah. I don't know if you believe in all that, but I don't. But I just love to know about it because a lot of it.
No, for sure,
but
for sure. I mean, everybody has their way.
You have a moment.
Yeah.
Like, I was really curious about your spiritual background. Even when I was sitting in the audience, I said, I wonder what kind of meditation she does. Like, I can tell because I just started my journey, and it's helped me become a better person and get out of my mindset. Because man, that mindset of yours, that neighborhood is a bad neighborhood, and you need to move out of it. And that's something I'm working on daily. So thank you for saying that. So women are struggling every day, like with infertility, cysts, heavy periods. So what are some other tips that you can give us to help us maintain a healthy vagina?
If you're a person that has a lot of cysts or fibroids, or you bleed really heavily, you want to really pay attention to the estrogen types of foods that you're putting in your body. So you need to understand what types of foods produce estrogen. So they probably shouldn't eat chicken. And if they do, they got to make sure that it's pasture-raised chicken and that chicken didn't eat soy, right? You want to watch your stress levels, because stress and belief is what? Energy. It's just put in a box that we would call bad, making sure that we're happy. That's a big thing, because happiness, you know how when you're unhappy, you have like that feeling in your throat and in your stomach, or if you're in a bad relationship and you know you're not supposed to be there anymore, like, and you're trying not to go home. And I'm speaking out of, and I wasn't in a bad relationship. I just wasn't happy in the relationship that I was in, but I didn't want to go home to it. And it caused me pressure and stress, right? And the worry of what would happen if I broke that thing away because of how I felt. Bad energy, right? If you're eating food and it's making you sick and you know that it is, or you're doing something that you don't feel like you should be doing, whether, you know, the should or shouldn't is relative. Everybody lives their life a different way. But if it gives you a feeling of being ashamed of yourself, or something like that, you have to pay attention to those things, because those things make you sick. And so many people, everything isn't just about what you eat or how much water you drink or, you know, what you put on your body. A lot of it is also like, how do you feel about yourself? Are you in a happy relationship? Are you loving yourself? Are you forgiving yourself? Are you patient with yourself? These are all things that every human has an issue with, right? But you'd be surprised at how much that shit probably would make you sicker than if you just step back from your life and said, okay, let me just look at everything, not just the things that you're taught to do. What am I eating, drinking, putting on? But like, what am I doing that's causing me pressure? And I think you have to kind of get to the root of that. So yeah, you need to drink a lot of water. And you need to take herbs, and you need to make sure that you eat organic vegetables and fruits, and, you know, have a green juice every now and again. You know, minimize your meat intake to one time a day if you're going to eat it, right? Like, whatever, all of that shit is cool, but pay attention to your happiness, because that is the most important thing.
That's a big one. Something that we don't even think about every day. Our energy level, like our vibrations, is very important. How we treat ourselves. So guys, take care of yourselves and think mindfully. All of this is all about the conscious world. Be conscious of what you're putting in your body, also what you're putting out. So
and what your thoughts and what your thoughts are. You got to pay attention to your thoughts. You know, and if you're doing something that you think that you feel gives you any kind of shame, or you don't want anybody to know, or whatever the thing is, it's probably only because you believe it to be that way.
Right.
But, you know, but you got to pay attention to whatever it is that you believe in, so you can move in alignment of that. Because really, that's the power in most of the shit we do, is how we practice religion. It's how we practice in a relationship. It's how we practice in friendships. It's how we get through the world. It's dependent on what you believe in, right? And a lot of people have these really crazy beliefs. And I shouldn't call them crazy, because if that's not what they think, then that's what they think. But, you know, but sometimes those belief systems will put you in a box. And when you do anything with anti to that, right, which most people are going to do, then you're going to feel bad about yourself. You have to pay attention to that, you know? Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. You speaking to me right now, because I've been acting up the last couple of weeks. I ain't going to lie. This sister been acting up because these thoughts, man. I just got started in January, to be honest. And to keep going and to motivate yourself, it takes a beast on the inside of you. So you're going to have two different things talking to you. It's going to be the good and the bad. And you have to really focus on you have to learn how to be a master of peace.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because it's true. And also learn that, like, some things that you may think is wrong may not even be wrong. Right? You might have just been taught that shit was wrong, you know?
You better get out my head. You better get out my head.
No, I'm just saying that to say, like, you know, you said you've been acting up lately, but is that even a thing? You know what I mean?
Okay.
So,
all right. Well, thank you. We don't want to be too hard on ourselves, too.
don't be. Yeah, don't be.
What ignites the fire within you to do what you love today? And leave us with some encouraging words.
Because I want to be the change in the world that I want to live in. You can't wish for everything externally to change. If you want shit to change, you got to change it. It's really important that we as humans understand that everything in our world that's human, that's like man-made, the shit's all made up. If you're in New York and you're in Manhattan and all you see is concrete and buildings. All of those buildings were just a thought. When you think about it, even consciousness was a thought, right? And so when you really truly understand that, you know that there are no limits. Live limitless and don't be hard on yourself, and understand that really you can do anything you put your mind to. You just got to get out there and do it. And you're going to figure it out. It's going to be hard. And you may not have a clue.
At all. You're just doing
fine,
it.
But that's okay,
yeah.
right? You just keep figuring it out, and you find people that have a clue, and you just keep working at it. But yeah. If you want your life to be different, if you want your world to be different, if you want anything to be different, you're only in control of yourself. So you have to make things happen.
Well, Beatrice, I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us today. I commend you. I thank God for you, that what you've done for the world and for the women all over this world. I thank God that He chose you to do it. You're the perfect person. So thank you. Thank you so much. So, ladies, if you need to switch your products, you have to go to Honey Pot. I mean, it's going to help you. It's going to help you in so many ways. It's going to make you feel good about yourself and make you worry-free. So get your butt to Whole Foods or Target, or go online.
Or
get
Walmart or Walgreens or Amazon.
Yes. So tell everybody how they can find you on social media and online and all that good stuff.
On Instagram, it's at The Honey Pot Co. Online, we're thehoneypot.co. Make sure you don't put an M like Mary at the end. And like you said, they can find us in Target, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, but only in Puerto Rico. We're in Bartell Drug. We're in Meijer. It's crazy. The list goes on. Honestly, just go to thehoneypot.co, click on the store locator, and put in your zip code, and it'll pull up everything that's close to you.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much for joining this party with a purpose.
Thank you.
All right. Be sure to download and leave a review, guys. If you have any questions, get at your girl. I'll catch you next week. All right. It's getting real hot up in here because we are so fired up.
When they strike, we lie.